You know, some cities have history, and then some cities have a history that just refuses to stay buried. Today, we're digging into the dark, kind of spectral heart of Buffalo, New York, a city that has this wild reputation for being one of the most haunted places in all of America.
So that's the big question, right? Why Buffalo? What is it about this one city on the shores of Lake Erie that makes it such an insane hotbed for paranormal activity? Is it all just local legend, or is there something much, much deeper going on here? Well, it turns out the answer isn't some random spooky stuff. Buffalo's ghosts seem to be a direct consequence of its incredibly violent and tragic past. The city's whole haunted reputation, it's literally built on a foundation of real-world pain. To get the hauntings, you first have to get the history.
So to really get it, we have to go way back. Back to the traumatic events that literally shaped the city from the ground up.
I mean, look at this. The city's foundation is built on two massive citywide traumas. First, you've got 1813. During the War of 1812, British forces basically torched the entire settlement, burned it right to the ground. Then, just 30 years later, bam, a catastrophic storm, this crazy wind-driven wave called a seiche, just slams into the city with absolutely no warning.
And that number, 78, that's just the official death count from that 1844 storm. So many more people were just washed away into Lake Erie, never found. Can you imagine an entire community getting practically wiped out twice, right as it's getting started? That kind of trauma, it's going to leave a scar. So all that tragedy, all that energy, it had to go somewhere, right? Well, it seems like it didn't just fade away. Instead, it got concentrated in certain places, creating these paranormal hotspots that are, believe it or not, still incredibly active today. Let's see where these spirits are hanging out.
Okay, so this table breaks down three of the absolute titans of Buffalo's hauntings. You've got the Central Terminal, which is just soaked in this ocean of emotion from all the wartime goodbyes. Then there's Old Erie County Hall, and get this, it was built directly on top of a cemetery from the War of 1812. And finally, the USS The Sullivans, a ship that carries the unbelievable weight of a family tragedy. Each spot has its own powerful story.
Let's start with the Central Terminal. We're not talking about just cold spots or random noises here. Investigators report intelligent activity. They talk about specific spirits, like a woman named Rose, still waiting for a husband who died in World War II, or a little boy named Zachary, whose laughter you can supposedly hear in the empty halls. It's a place just drenched in these powerful emotions, where you can see shadow figures still waiting for their train to come in.
Okay, if you thought that was creepy, wait till you hear about Old Erie County Hall. The story here is just, wow. They literally built it on top of bones. It sits on the old Franklin Square Cemetery, a burial ground for soldiers from the War of 1812. People who work there talk about seeing these apparitions of soldiers with missing limbs in the basement, like a violent echo from the past. And as if that's not enough, this is also where President McKinley's body lay in state after he was assassinated. People still claim to see his ghost there.
And then you have the USS The Sullivans. This story, it's just heartbreaking, but also kind of incredible. The ship is named in honor of 5 brothers, the Sullivan brothers, who were all killed at the same time on another ship in World War II. It's said the oldest brother, George, haunts this ship, forever searching for his lost siblings. But here's the amazing part. The crew believe the brothers' spirits were like guardians, because even though this ship saw heavy combat, not a single sailor was ever killed in battle on board. But it's not just about these old ghosts from disasters and wars. The city has a much more modern legacy of violence, too. These shocking events that just add another dark layer to the whole atmosphere. Take the McKinley assassination. A U.S. president was shot right there in Buffalo. That's huge. But the aftermath? It's just plain weird. His body, of course, is taken to the already haunted county hall. But the really strange thing is the justice, or what passed for it. The assassin was tried, convicted, and executed in only 45 days. I mean, that is an unbelievably fast timeline. They even put acid in his coffin to make sure his body dissolved.
And that darkness didn't stop in 1901. It bled right into the 20th century. In the early 80s, the city lived in fear of the .22 caliber killer. And for more than 30 years, the bike path killer terrorized the suburbs. This constant thread of violence and fear, it's just another layer, Another reason why many people believe the whole area is just charged with this dark paranormal energy. So what do you do with a history like this? A history so dark? Do you try to forget it? Well, in Buffalo, they do the exact opposite. They embrace it. The darkness has become a core part of the city's identity.
And look, this isn't just something the locals say to spook tourists. Check out this quote from musician Patti Smith after she played at the town ballroom, which, surprise, surprise, is another haunted spot with old mob ties. She just came out and said it. When someone like Patti Smith says a place is full of spirits, you kind of pay attention.
I mean, this is the perfect example of how the city just leans into it all. They have this huge annual party, the Witches' Ball. Thousands of people show up. And where do they hold it? Of course, they hold it in the Statler Hotel, a famous landmark known for its own collection of ghosts. They are literally having a party with the spirits.
So when you piece it all together, the fires, the floods, the assassinations, the ghosts, it feels like Buffalo's past isn't really past at all, you know? It's still there. You can feel it echoing in those old buildings. And it leaves you with a huge question. Are these just cool, spooky stories? Or is Buffalo a city where the past is so powerful, it never really had a choice but to stick around?